You're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, I'm Francine.
And I'm Carrie.
We're two best friends who can't stop talking, usually about Disney stuff.
Sometimes we have fascinating guests, and sometimes it's just us, but it's always positive and fun.
We're happy to have you join our chat. Thanks for listening, and let's get started. Welcome home. The traveler has returned. How are you?
I have a bit of a, what's it called when with your sleep and all that stuff?
Is it? Well, it's not really jet lag because that's over.
Well, that's
it's like
word.
the
I can't remember that word. It's jet lag. Yeah, jet lag was the word I was thinking of. But yeah,
was it?
The time change.
It's like the time changes. I don't know. But your sleep's all over the place.
I've been home for a couple of days and I can't function before noon. I'm not sleeping till noon, but I'm getting up, but I'm not
You're not functional.
I'm not in a functionable mode until about 11 to noon. And then I can be like, oh, I guess I'm going to my desk at lunch today and I'll be working a little bit different today. So yeah, I've been waking up at 9-ish, but not, because 9 o'clock is 6 o'clock in the morning, right? And noon is 9. So noon is right about when I'm getting to my desk.
Right. So we need to tell them where you were.
Yeah, well, I don't think they have to. If there's a time change involved, I don't think that they have to wonder too much where I might have been.
Too much.
But I was at Disneyland, but prior to Disneyland, I was in Las Vegas.
Yes, which is so exciting.
Return to Las Vegas. I haven't been to Las Vegas in 10 years, but before that, I used to go every year. I checked my ledger before, I don't remember the number of how many times I've been to Las Vegas, but maybe
you've been talking about going back to Vegas for a long time.
Yeah, I did it. I went to a conference. The conference was at Caesar's Palace somewhere. If you would have asked 21-year-old Carrie if she was ever going to stay at Caesar's Palace one day, she would have said, no way.
No way.
I am rich.
But you got to stay there.
It's a little different now probably than back in the old days. I think in the old days it would have been a superior deluxe premium casino to stay at. I think now it's, in Disney terms, it's probably in the moderate range, moderate to
you think?
Yeah, I do. Because now in Vegas there's, it's
but even when you say Caesar's Palace, you think I think, oh my gosh, that's the it spot to be in Vegas.
Yeah, it's the center of the strip. Okay, so maybe not a moderate, but it's now there's the Bellagio and there's Baby Deluxe. There's Bellagio and there's the Wynn and there's Aria. There's all kinds of there's the Venetian. I think those are kind of a tier higher, and there's even more, right? There's Ritz-Carlton, and there's all kinds of things that weren't there back in the old days. So I think the vibe is kind of deluxe and fancier. All of the stores are fancy, all of the restaurants are celebrity chefs, but that's kind of what's happened in Vegas. Everybody's followed suit. It's a little bit, Vegas is quite a bit different than the old days. So
I am excited to hear your how it went, because I know you've been talking about this for a long time. We've talked about how excited you would be to get back to Vegas because you loved it. That was your go-to vacation spot. You were going there all the time.
Yeah.
And then you had this hiatus and now you go back. So did it feel familiar when you landed at the airport?
Well, this is the funny thing. Before, when we used to go, my aunt and I, well, she's going to love this episode. We used to, we would go and just like we would do for Walt Disney World. What we did, when we started going there is we would plan everything. So we would plan our Vegas trips a year in advance, and we would plan everything. We would know exactly what was new, all the restaurants, all the shops. We would have our to-do list. We would have all the things we want to do again. We would send each other funny postcards all year long and just do silly things back and forth in the mail.
Snail mail?
Snail mail. We'd snail mail ourselves each other stuff all year long. We'd craft up funny things. We did stuff all year long to go on this trip.
Aww.
And so we knew Vegas like the back of our hand. Like we knew everything. Like if we went back, we know it would change. We know what had changed, what was new, whatever. And as much as Vegas has changed, it's still exactly the same. Like I could still be the same exact tour guide to people today that I could have been back then. Like the nuts and bolts and the skeleton is all the same.
All the bones are the same.
And I do watch a little bit of Vegas stuff on YouTube, so I do get a little bit of updates about what's new or whatever, but I know exactly what's going on still. Like so it's really, really, really different in so many ways, but equally as so, it's exactly the same. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. It's a little bit different, like it's a little bit crazier. I never stayed at Caesars. Like Caesars is a conference hotel. It's very busy, very loud, like very, very crazy. Like the vibe is just busy, busy, busy. And that's kind of the vibe everywhere, it seems. Like even, you go for dinner in a restaurant, and we were talking about this at dinner. Like it feels like when we're dining, it feels like we're at Walt Disney World. When you're in a restaurant that's very busy and all you can hear is
Yes.
people. You're not hearing kids scream necessarily or that type of noise, but it's just like the noise is so loud everywhere. Like
It's
all the
just like
restaurants are
constant.
busy. It's just constant people everywhere. And I guess it's always sort of been like that, but like, being in the middle of the strip, being at a busy conference hotel, it was just elevated. Like we went, one of the things we did as a treat, two of us wanted to go, and the two of us should have just had a romantic dinner for two. We went to the buffet at Caesar's Palace, the
Okay.
Palladium or whatever. It's like a seafood buffet. It costs like $95 to go for this buffet.
Wow. But wait,
So
wait,
like,
wait. Did they have shrimp?
did they have shrimp? They had shrimp. Shrimp is like the least thing on the menu. They have shrimp, they have crab legs, they have Dungeen crabs, whatever they're called, legs. They had lobster. Like it was a full out seafood buffet. But it cost, like, in the end, with our tax before our tip, it was $95. And two of us love it. So two of us were like ponied up to the crab bar like nonstop and eat
Yeah.
miles and miles of plates. The other two didn't barely eat anything. Like they probably didn't even eat $20 worth of food. But when we were sitting there, like we've spent, like, and I know it's a buffet, as a buffet is a buffet, but like it was so noisy, like the environment was so chaotic, like, and we paid $400 US for the four of us to sit there and eat. And we also went over to the first night we arrived. I thought um the girls wanted, like, one had been there before, one like a few times, but a long time. One had been there a few years ago, one had never been. So we had,
A full
I was
range.
a full range, and I was the tour guide. So I thought the first night we would make a dinner reservation across the way at Paris. So they have Mon Ami Gabi, is like you could sit outside, and the Eiffel Tower and the
Oh,
Bellagio fountains
nice.
across the road. So I thought that would be a good place to go. And again, we went over there. It was restaurant week in Vegas, so a lot of places had fixed priced menu.
Okay.
So we picked that place. We did the fixed price menu, and but again, we paid like probably still close to what we paid for a buffet for us to have our dinner and our drinks and whatever. And it's just chaos in there. It's just like total chaos, right?
So it
Like
wasn't
people
like
like
relaxing.
going, and like it's far from like sitting. There's nothing Paris at all about this restaurant, because it's just chaos. Like it feels like you're in a crazy busy like Disney character meal restaurant is what it feels like. So at least, like, there was no charm at all. Like zero
Are the
charm. Like
tables like really close to each other? So
they're
like you
close
can.
to each other. There's people coming and going nonstop, like servers everywhere, and just the talking, like people, everybody in this crammed restaurant talking, all the different level, like chaos, like complete chaos. So like maybe it would be different if you went for a brunch on a Wednesday morning or something. I don't know, like it would be different, but for dinner that night it was kind of crazy. So very, very busy, and I don't know,
Wow.
interesting. Um, but anyways, uh, I don't know what else to say. Like we staying at Caesars was awesome. Like it was sort of like a dream come true that I never thought I would stay there. The
What's the
resort,
rooms like? Like,
the rooms are ginormous.
Yeah, because it's an older hotel, right? So they're
Oh my
like the old
goodness.
style rooms that were made for space.
Yes, ginormous. Like my room had a king bed, I had a couch, I had a coffee table, I had a table to work at. Like it was and I still had room. Like I still could have probably they could have put a chaise up against the window. I had loads and loads of room. So the rooms were huge. The rooms were clean. The resort is ginormous. Like if you like you could it would take you the whole time you're there to even orient yourself to where you it's just a big maze because it's a casino that has been around for so long. Like they've built different towers, they've built different things. It's
Right.
kind of like mismatched. Like it really is truly a maze when you're inside. And I was kind of I sort of didn't want to stay because of that. I thought it's going to be this crazy, we're going to lose each other. We're never going to find each other. But we did end up when we checked in, we were all in the same tower, either beside each other or a floor away or whatever. So we were close enough that we didn't find each other. We didn't have to put air tags on um
That's good.
anybody that week. But it's nice. Like I think for the price, like we got a conference rate, so it was quite reasonable, but I think probably even paying the regular price, like if you wanted that mid-strip experience, you wouldn't feel that you got ripped off with your hotel stay. Like I think the rooms, the location is probably worth it. The one thing that it was like this always in Las Vegas, but it seems to be even worse now, is how expensive the food is. So
Yeah.
back in the old days, you would be able to like the casinos were expensive, but you would always be able to find stuff in between.
Mhm.
And the like, you could always find a Subway sub or a Burger King if you really needed to, or whatever. And I find that's far and few between. So a lot of the casinos now don't have like the regular food courts that we would have. Like
Right.
at Caesars, they have a celebrity food court. So in the food court, it's Buddy Valastro, Bobby Flay. It's got Chicken Guy. Like it's got all celebrity chefs. They all have restaurants all throughout Vegas, but now they also have quick service locations all throughout Las
And
Vegas
so
in
what
the
would a meal
casinos.
like and their quick service meals are priced for Vegas?
Well, I had a burger and a side of onion rings, and I believe it was $24 US. And it wasn't very good.
Which is like $40 Canadian.
Like the burger tasted like I would have been just as happy with an In-N-Out burger. And even in the like at the conference, they gave us a $30 per day charge to our room. Like so if we spent
Right.
$30, they would deduct that amount. If we charged $50, they would deduct the $30. So like in the like a coffee anywhere, like even in the cheaper hotels, it's not much better. Like a coffee will cost you at least $7 or $8. Like if you want a latte, by the time like a latte with tax and a tip is at least $10 for a
Wow.
latte.
And these
So
are
like
like small coffees, not like Starbucks
they're
ginormous.
Starbucks, yeah, they're decent. Like if I got a large
Okay.
latte, it's fairly decent. But I bought a latte or a cappuccino one morning with a brioche and a banana, and it was $24.
Wow.
So like that got paid for by the conference. But like if we
But
didn't have the conference, we still have to eat some. We still have to eat something, right? We
yeah.
we went across the road to the CVS and we bought some bananas and we bought some water. Like water is easy to like you Vegas would be perfect for you because there's water. Like
There's water everywhere.
at the casino, they'll give you water. Like I don't know how many little tiny complimentary bottles of Caesar's Palace water I had that week, like 100 of them. When you're checking in, they're walking around and giving you water. Um, but uh, but
But if
yeah,
you
it's
want
easy to
something
drink
else,
water.
it's
But
expensive.
yeah, I just find it's different. Because they've like taken down a lot of the small things and have put up bigger things, or they've made all the older casinos kind of step up to be like the newer casinos or
Right.
the more deluxe casinos. Like even across the road at Flamingo, they have the same type of restaurants. Like, and Flamingo would be one in the past that would be okay. Well, the coffees and whatever may still be sort of expensive, but it's still like that brings it's a tier lower. Like, when you stay there, you're gonna have a little bit, you're gonna have more access to some of that, cheaper
Right.
stuff or whatever. Like Harris, I think they're there over there too. They still have a food court. I didn't really take a decent look to see what it was like, but it seems that's what's generally happening. It's like there's every celebrity chef has has a restaurant in every other casino. Like Hell's Kitchen or like there's just it's everywhere. Like you
It's
can't
everywhere.
like and back
Yeah.
in the old days there was like Cheesecake Factory and like the only so when I first started going to Vegas, the only celebrity chefs was like Wolfgang Puck and Emeril Lagasse. And now there's like now every like I can't and I'm not really exaggerating. Like everywhere. Like you can't everything is
Like
a
you
celebrity
can't go
chef.
find like a 15.99 buffet anymore for breakfast.
Oh, definitely. Well, and most of the casinos don't have buffets. A lot of the casinos are getting rid of the buffets because I think, like the ones on the strip, anyways, like they're going the route of Caesars. Like,
Right.
after COVID and whatever, maybe they figured it out. Like, there's, the way they make money in a buffet is charging $100 and throwing some crab legs on the buffet. Like
Right.
they don't have buffets like they used to. So, but yeah, it was a fun experience, but the rest of Vegas, like I didn't see too much of it because it was very, 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 very hot. At 11 o'clock at night, it was still 92 degrees out,
Oh
and
my gosh.
even though it's not humid, it feels like when it's 92 to 100 degrees in Vegas, it feels like when you open up the oven when you're
Yep.
baking a cake or a roast and that hits you. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
So we walked about. We went over to see the Bellagio fountains and see the Bellagio conservatory. That was just next door. Um, one night we took a Uber down to my favorite restaurant. These girls had no idea what I was taking them to. It's called the Peppermill, and it's like my favorite retro. It's like from the 80s, and it still feels like
Okay.
the 80s when you go in. So it's a big restaurant that's got like I don't even know. Like there's neon, like the fabrics like bright hot pink and hot blue and they have like those glass Tiffany like chandeliers or not chandeliers, the light covers and they've got flamingos on them and whatever. And they've got the place is full of like fake trees or whatever. Like you just walk in and you're like, what the heck? And then they have a bar called the Fireside Lounge. And when you walk in, there's like a big fire pit and it's still like mirrors all over the walls, dark blue, dark
Ah.
purple, neon. And and when you get in so far, it's not that very big, but when you get in so far, you can't even find your way out because there's mirrors everywhere, right? Like you look and you're seeing whatever. So, anyways, I brought them there for like it's a sort of it's a diner, but it's like
Yeah.
a Vegas version of a diner. And so they're known to have like blue plate specials, so like big plates of food. So of course the prices there were a bit more, but it was still the same like big blue plate food. So anyways, we went there one night and the girls really liked that. They didn't know what they were getting into, but they were all delightfully surprised with the outcome. They thought the place was pretty cool. And I said, "Would I steer you guys wrong?" So that was my little
You're a
way of
good
kind of
tour
seeing
guide. You're a good tour
it was a
guide.
good way of me seeing my old stomping grounds and the things I like to do. But other than that, like the conference kept us busy. Like we had to be up at them early, reporting for duty at 8 or 9 o'clock. And then we had one free night. That's the night we went to the Pepper Mill. And then the other nights they have receptions, they have like parties, they have stuff for us. So I went for a couple walks. I went for a couple walks like later at night when it was cooler just to see stuff. The one day I snuck out, I played hooky from the conference and I went over to Harris to see Big Elvis. So again,
Oh,
that's the other thing I did that kind of to go back to my old trips. It's this I think his name is Pete Valley and he's an Elvis impersonator and he just sings in like the bars and the lounges. So Mondays at like 1:33, 5:30 or whatever he does
yeah.
shows at Harris. So I went over there and I got myself a non-alcoholic drink at the little bar and watched the Big Elvis set and I dialed into my aunt so she could watch it too because she hadn't seen Big Elvis for a
Oh,
long
did
time.
she love it?
Yeah, well, I don't know how good the sound was because it was so loud in there, but he's like my aunt told me years ago, like you close your eyes and you think you're in the room with Elvis, and he still has a pretty good voice all these years later. So yeah, Big Elvis
Big
and
Elvis. I
Big
love
Elvis.
that.
He's really good, and it's just in a little tiny bar. Like he's always just done that. I think like at certain casinos, he just to draw in the bar crowd. People buy some drinks, and he sings for a little while.
Was it busy? Like in
It
the
was
bar
pretty
where,
busy, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he draws people into like there's not a lot of that anymore in Vegas, right? Like it's probably, back in the old days, every other casino had an Elvis impersonator. So I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I was wondering, like, do they still do as much of that? Because do the younger kids, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but do the younger kids even know who Elvis is?
I'm sure they do. I think there's some of it still, and there's still like the magicians and the comedy stuff, and there's still stuff to do like the old days where, maybe you have to buy a drink. Like you buy a drink, like they got those Vanderpump Rules. I don't watch Vanderpump,
Oh,
but it's like a
right.
TV show. She's got
Yeah.
like restaurants around Vegas, like, and they're beautiful restaurants, but like a drink costs 24.99 before your
Yeah.
tax and before your tip. But anyway, so I still think that there's some stuff to do, like the cheesy shows or the things that are kind of secrets, like you only have to pay $20 and it's a really decent comedy show or whatever. But there's so much more to do in Vegas. And I learned this at the conference too, because I went to the Las Vegas Visitor Bureau session just to kind of see what they had to say. There's
Yeah.
so much stuff. Like aside, like to keep it simple, like aside from having like an indoor skiing slope, like it's turned into Dubai. Like whatever you want to do, you can do there now. Like there's so many things to do. There's so many pop-up art exhibitions. There's so many, like they've got Area 15, which has like the Meow Wolf like artsy area, and they're doing like the Universal's doing their Halloween Horror Nights like full time there. Like they like you could do whatever you want to do there. They even have like, because of all the F1 racing they have like a whole F1 area like building now that's like permanent, and they have museums there, and you can go in and simulate F1 cars. You can ride fancy cars. Like
Right.
you can do so much. Like you can do everything there. Like before it was like you could go on a helicopter ride to the Grand Canyon. Like there's so much
Yeah.
more that you can do there now. So and it comes with a cost. Like everything seems to like start at $50. Like you walk into, they have those places where those art exhibitions where like the walls come alive, and like we're
Yeah.
not talking like the Disney or Van Gogh ones. We're talking about ones that like people feel like a changed person when they leave. Like they're so, like they hit you so hard. Like those cost like minimum $50 US. So four of you are spending $200 to go into a big room to have things float around you, right? So there's like everything seems to have that like a like minimum $50 price point. But like I was thinking, like if all this stuff would have existed 20 years ago when my aunt and I first started going, like we'd still be going because we would still not have done
Yeah.
everything. Like we had done everything over and over again back in the day. And I'd seen all the Elvises, had been to all the museums, and now there's so much more. And the dining
Extra.
is crazy. Like if like the dining is, if you're a foodie, holy smokes, like it's
There's so many options.
so much, and private tables and dining experiences that you can do, and dining tours and wine tours, and like where they can curate your meals and your drinking and your wine, like all these things that you can book on the side, and like to pre-organize your trip if you're into that type of stuff. Like it's just tenfold like
Like,
the stuff that's there to do now. Like, and
what about the gambling? Like, is it even like gambling's just almost like second to everything else
gambling,
now?
like I know there's people definitely that are going there to gamble, but like for the most part, gambling can be what you do when you're bored and you got nothing else to do. Like if
But
it
there's so
depending
much
on the
other
reason
stuff to
why you're
do.
going, right?
Yeah.
Like people can go like shopping. There's so much shopping, really high end shopping. Like how many Dior stores does there need to be on the strip? Probably one in every big casino has one,
You're
right? And
kidding.
all those high end casinos have them, and the mall probably has it too. But you go there to shop, you go there to eat, you go there to drink, you go there to dance and party. Like that's a whole other realm, right? Like just the nightlife and the pool life, like the daytime pool parties and the nightlife. Like really, if you're not going there to gamble, you don't have to. Like you could easily go there and not even spend a penny gambling for sure. I'm sure lots of people
Oh, wow.
do that. But it's sort of like, if you didn't have anything to do, you sit at a slot machine and you can play for a little bit. Like it's definitely not the draw. And obviously they figured like, they were starting to do that years ago with all the stores and the shopping that, but now it's just, yeah, there's so much to do. Like why, like if you don't gamble, why would you waste your money on gambling just because
Right.
when you can have all these amazing experiences? Would you rather spend $50 and spend 3 hours in an awesome art exhibit that's going to blow your mind, and it's going to, you're going to talk about it for a year later? Or would you rather sit in a casino and spend $50 in half an hour or an hour,
Exactly.
right? Like there's, I'm sure most people probably don't, if you're not a gambler, you're going to spend, there's so many other ways you're looking forward to spending your money,
Spending your
even eating
money.
and
Yeah.
drinking your money instead of gambling your money.
Right.
Like it's pretty crazy, but yeah, crazy, busy. It seemed like center of the strip seemed a little bit more dirtier than I've ever remembered it
Oh,
to be.
really?
But yeah,
Like
I
dirty
would,
on the street, you mean? Like,
yeah, just like a lot of like a little bit of garbage all over the place. Like things are just old, right? Like, all the
yeah,
cement, like, I think a lot of it is that, and they probably can't really, with it being so busy, they probably can't really,
I
you
can't
know,
zhuzh it up.
zhuzh it up when they've got a bajillion people there every single day. But yeah, like I would love, like it's different. I enjoyed it. I did get to see a little bit of what I wanted to see with my exploring and checking to see if things were still the same. Like I went for walks. I didn't get lost. I knew exactly where everything was. I can maneuver myself around everything. It's all still the same. But I would go back. I would like to, like, I was getting to the point when I was traveling before that I wasn't really spending a heck of a lot of time on the strip. So if I
Hmm.
was to go back again, like I kind of do want to go back, but I would stay off the strip or far, far down the strip or somewhere totally not right smack dab in the middle and kind of explore the things that I want to explore. Like I love the desert. Like I love those mountains. I love that valley.
Hmm.
I love the dry heat. I took a bajillion pictures. Like the yeah, even when we were at Disneyland, like the girls are like taking pictures of everything, and they have pictures of me taking pictures of like succulents. Like, anyways,
Yes.
it
Do you
was good.
think, how do you think your aunt would feel about Vegas now? Like this new Vegas compared to the Vegas she loved?
Well, I don't think that I think she was kind of feeling the same way as me towards the end for sure. I don't think that she wants that Vegas trip that I just had. I think she wants a Vegas
Yeah.
trip that I want to do. So we would
Like
so
the real one where you go and explore what you want to explore.
yeah, come onto the strip to see what we want to see and then get out of Dodge. And that's kind of
Right.
what we do, rent a car and just kind of see what we want to see, pop in where we want to pop in, right? If we want to check out a casino, we could drive there and just walk through it and then jump back in the car instead of walking like 10 bajillion steps between the casinos to see stuff.
Right.
So I think she'd be interested to see some of it, but also it's just you want to see the stuff that you love too and see the old stuff. So
Of
that's
course.
still that's still there. So but it was good. Vegas was fun. I'm glad I went. And I still do love it, and it's in my own little way. I can see through.
You
I
can
can
see
still see
past all of the
I can
all of
see
the
I can see
the
past through all
glam.
the craziness and see that old gal that I love so dearly. She's still the same. She's
They
still the
put a
same.
lot of glitz in it, basically. Like there's a lot of new with the celebrity chefs and like the Vanderpump restaurants and all that kind of stuff. It seems like they've got a lot of more upscale um places.
And you think some of these things like the Vanderpump stuff, like I'm pretty sure like and even from most of these celebrity chefs, like that draws enough to get somebody to Vegas,
Yeah.
right? Right? Like if you think you don't live near any, you don't live in California or Los Angeles or whatever, you live wherever you live, and you have the chance to go to Vegas and go to a Vanderpump restaurant and experience that, like that is
Yep.
enough to draw somebody. Like those, I'm sure that those chefs just draw people. Like one chef alone would draw somebody
That watches
just
them
just
on
to have the
TV
trip.
and just,
Yeah,
yeah, they want to go and experience it. But like who wouldn't want to go? I always think I don't even watch food shows, but the thought of going to eat in Hell's Kitchen or something would be fantastic.
yeah, it's pretty, and they're full. Like there's lots of people
Yeah.
everywhere in there. So yeah, I don't know what their Las Vegas budgets are now nowadays. Like if you're going, like just what you would spend on your food alone would
Well,
be
yeah, like I did hear one of my friends went to Vegas last year and he said like they one of the days they decided they were going to spend at the resort just at the pool. Like because it's hot. Of course, they wanted to spend some time at the pool. And they ordered like his wife ordered like a pina colada and he ordered a bottle of water. And the bottle of water was like $12 and her pina colada was like 25.
yeah.
It's like, so we didn't stay very long at the pool because we were thirsty, but it was so expensive.
I think the girls got at the Caesars pool. I think they got like they had a Dole Whip with booze in it, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it was like $42 or
Oh
something
my
crazy like that.
gosh. It's so crazy. Yeah. The,
Like they've got the big wheel thing. You can go zip lining. You can do like all,
yeah.
but again, all that stuff comes with that. Like it seems to me like a minimum $50. So whether you're going to spend,
Hmm.
you want to lay by the pool for the afternoon and spend $50 on drinks, or you want to spend $50 to go into the museum or in
An
the big wheel or a
experience.
zip line
Yep.
somewhere or whatever. It's yeah. It's there's so much stuff for you to do there if that's what you're.
But
And you
see, it
think if
puts
you
it
like
all.
if sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say it just puts it all in perspective when you think about like people who complain, "Oh my gosh, going to Disney's so expensive." But like what would a day at Vegas cost you for the entertainment and the food and the
Yeah,
drinks? It's
absolutely.
seriously like it's a lot more expensive.
When we got to Disneyland, we said that quite a few times when we were ordering food and doing things like holy smokes, like
Like who would have thought you'd show up at Disneyland and be like, "Oh, this is cheap."
yeah,
Right?
yeah. But that's a thing, yeah, like if you wanted to do, like a couple that you had breakfast, you had or you had breakfast and dinner, say, and then
Yeah.
you did a couple of attractions, like that wouldn't even fill your day, and you're probably spending $300 or $400. Like to
Yeah,
have
per
like a meal at
person.
a celebrity chef, have your breakfast, have your
Yep.
coffee in between, go to like do a $50 attraction. You're still like, well, what else am I going to do for the day? Like go to the pool, have some drinks, do another attraction. Like, you
Yeah.
like a couple, that's without even any gambling or shopping.
Yeah.
You'd be spending, you know, $300 or $400, maybe more, depending on what you chose to do. So,
Yeah.
and I kept thinking when I was there, like if you lived close, like if you lived within a 5 hour drive and you could come to Vegas for a couple of days or a weekend, like there's so much stuff to do. Like if you were into that, like if you were into going to different shows or going, even just trying some of those tourist attraction-y things that are on the lower end, like, you can go for the
Right.
weekend and you knock off a different thing every time or a couple different things. Like you'd have years worth of going to Vegas now. Like there's so many different things to do. Or even if you were a foodie, right? Like picking a different like dining experience or whatever. Like there's just so much stuff. There's so
Right.
much stuff to do that I thought that a lot. Like if you live close, like how cool would it be to have like if you were a certain age and that was your thing and you like doing this stuff. Again, like I don't think at this age I'm going to be going to Vegas every other weekend to do this stuff, but at the right time in your life, if you had access to that easily, you could
Yeah.
be able to do so much stuff. Like there'd be so much fun things to explore and to try. So
Wow. Yeah,
it was good.
I'd love to see you go back and do the trip that you want to do that is like off the strip or whatever and see what you plan out.
Probably nobody would want to hear about that. What anybody else wants to do in Vegas.
They
But
might. They might. Did you
one day.
gamble at all?
Just a little bit, mostly just
Okay.
like to do for something to do, like $20 here, $20 there, like nothing to, again,
Nothing.
because
Yeah,
you
but you're
like
not a big gambler anyway,
you
right?
think about how
Although,
like you can spend your money on other things, right? Like it's
right.
exactly this what I'd rather do the $90 buffet and eat my weight in crab legs and spend it at the casino.
Yes. Yes,
So it's
true.
sort of, it's easy. It makes it very, 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 very easy for the non-gamblers to not gamble. Like it really does. Like
Yeah.
you got to spend, if you're on a tighter budget, you got to spend it wisely and watch your budget, or you decide what you want to do with your money. There's so many things to do instead of gamble.
That's so
So
amazing. I'm glad you got to go back and experience it because you've been talking about Vegas for a while, so you did get to go back and see how it's changed and now you know kind of what you'd like to do when you go back.
yeah, for sure. So hopefully one day sooner than later, not another 10
Yeah.
years. It'll be like,
Maybe yeah, not taking 10 years to get back there. And then you left Vegas and you were on to Disneyland. And I think that's like a whole other episode, is
yeah,
it?
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
We were gonna drive and I was gonna we were gonna drive and I was gonna plan like an 8 hour road trip that would include stopping at all the cheesy tourist attractions along the
Oh my
way.
gosh.
And even that was a little overwhelming for me, and we kind of convinced the group to fly instead. So we did a really quick flight. So before we knew it, we were in Disneyland. But we could talk about that next time. I'll talk. We flew into Long Beach, which
Oh yeah,
is
I want to
that's
hear
how we. I
that.
have to tell you that experience because it was really cool. So
Nice.
that's
Oh,
it.
I can't wait to hear about that. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing your Vegas trip with us, Carrie.
I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if there's any little tidbits of anything. I didn't even really buy anything exciting or whatever. So yeah, I think
Did you
that is
take
it.
your full-size luggage?
I did. I did. Well, at conferences they give you all kinds of crud, right? So
Yeah, you
I, I
needed it.
I did bring. I was still way under when I checked the bag. I still had like probably 10 pounds.
I don't understand, man. Like mine, last time coming home from Florida, I was over by 2 pounds.
Well, I expected to bring a lot more home from Disneyland, which we can talk about the next
Oh
time
yeah, we
too.
got to talk about that. That's a
So
whole episode.
yeah,
Awesome. Okay, Carrie, we are at the end of the episode and the time where we share what brought us joy this week. What's your pixie dust?
my pixie just happened just yesterday, where I walked
Oh,
over as I'm like not getting up and moving till a little bit later in the day. Last night I went for a walk and I walked to the dollar store because that's
oh
where
yes.
I could either walk somewhere and like get a burger and walk to McDonald's, like walk and get some Timbits, or I could just go. I could walk and do grocery shopping, but I didn't feel like carrying my knapsack. But anyways, I went to the dollar store, and at the dollar store they always have cheap puzzles. They have puzzles that are $1.75 at the Dollar Tree, and they had all new puzzles. Like I bought six puzzles.
No, you're
They
kidding.
had because you go into the dollar store, it's the same puzzles over and over again. It's like they make a series of them, right? And they're always the same
Right.
ones. But like they brought a new series in, so like I bought six puzzles. I could have bought more. So
Oh my
I brought
gosh.
six dollar store puzzles. They're not the greatest quality of puzzles, but they're good for when you travel. Like for instance, when I went on my last trip, I brought a puzzle with me and I did the puzzle. So like they're good because they only cost $1.75. That you could just leave them
You
there for the
leave
next
them.
person to do.
Well, you
So
did that on our MSC cruise. You left a whole bunch of puzzles.
yeah, I think I brought those ones too. Like they're not the quality's a little bit better than they used to be, but they're very thin pieces. But like they're small boxes, and yeah, like if
Yeah.
something happens to them, you throw them in the garbage, or you just leave them behind. So or bring them home. The one I did, I brought home because my aunt wants to do it. So, but they're
Oh,
small
nice.
and they're cheap. So yeah, I was excited. I was like really excited. I like came home and I took a picture of them and I sent them to my mom, and my aunt to show them that the dollar store had new puzzles. And I didn't want to buy them all because I thought, well, because there was a lot of them that I liked. This is a thing. I guess that's the double thing. Like there
How
was new
many
puzzles,
how
but
many puzzles are in your dollar store? Like how big is your dollar store?
well, I bet you the boxes they have probably has about 12 designs, I would think. Maybe 10 designs, 10 to 12
Oh,
designs. So
okay.
like they come in like a pre-box and they're all in there. So I that they're all new. Like they're still the old puzzles from last time, but like they have new, like they just boxed
Ah,
them up all together. So yeah, I was so excited. I could have bought more, but I thought I'll save some for the next time I walk to the dollar store. But I bought six puzzles and it was pretty
nice.
exciting. Yeah,
Oh, I did.
six.
Is that what you were doing? Like, because you messaged me that you were going to the dollar store, and then I never heard back. So
Yeah.
you were too busy puzzling when you got back.
No,
Is
I
that what
didn't
you were
puzzle. I
doing?
came home and I was cleaning the house afterwards, fun stuff. But I've got like a lot. I've got like a lot. I probably have like $12 store puzzles piled up. Like I gotta like either go on a trip and bring them or I gotta like get to doing
Yeah.
some of these. They're kind of like my backup for when I need them. I don't regularly sit at my table and do dollar store puzzles because I've
Right.
got lots of other nice puzzles to do. The dollar store puzzles are for,
They're your
certain
travel puzzles.
situations.
They're your
Travel
travel
puzzles or
puzzles.
whatever, yeah. So I need to go somewhere where I need to bring more dollar store puzzles.
Well, that's exciting.
So what's your pixie dust?
My pixie dust is not, it's not as good as puzzles. But I happened to come across a bag. I ran out of lip balm, and and I was gonna buy some new stuff on Amazon, but I found a bag. See, this is what happens when you don't unpack. I found a bag, and when I opened it, I had like three of my lip balms that I buy at Basin at Disney in the bag, like the brand new ones. I must have picked them up when I was there the last time. So I found some lip balm in my bag.
Nice.
I thought I was out. And when I find my Disney lip balm, it's a good day.
It's a
It's a good
delightful
day.
surprise.
Yeah.
That's
See,
pretty
there's
cool.
there's joy anywhere you look.
Yep.
Yeah,
bums from last trip, the trip before that, 5 trips ago, but it
I
doesn't
know.
matter. They're brand new.
They're brand new. They were, and I found them. Awesome.
I love
Well,
it.
if you've made it this far, thank you guys very much for listening. Make sure you leave us a rating and review if you can, and tell somebody who you think might enjoy one of our episodes. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks with Carrie's Disneyland adventures.
Hang tight. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode.
Make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player so you'll get a new episode every week. And find us on social media too. We'd love to hear from you.
Till next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.